Power went out in the studio and in the community. So I guess on one hand, it's better that it didn't just happen to me. But it did happen, and it did cut my show in half. So let's see if we are still live. On one hand, it's better that it didn't just happen to me. Okay, well, what the heck? Okay. We are back and we are live. All right. This was a strange... Have not had that happen to me in the middle of a show yet. I think I had everything crash once, but I don't think it went like this. All right, let's keep going. Let's plow through the stories here. AF Post is reporting that experimental vaccine billionaire Bill Gates is accusing Elon Musk of killing the world's poorest children over U.S. aid cuts. Wow. Victoria Brooks says new Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth canceled his scheduled visit to Israel next week prior to President Trump's visit to the region. So what's that all about? Can't play music, but man, that looks kind of awesome, huh? Go hang out in that area? That looks gorgeous. Spectrum service alert. Service in and around your area is being disrupted by a power outage. All right. All right, I think we're back up, rocking and rolling. Let's scroll through the stories. Today, during his first homily, the new Pope Leo XIV warned people against reducing Jesus to a kind of charismatic leader or Superman in an apparent message to evangelical Christians. I don't know what that means. I don't fully follow what they're getting at. Here's more talk about what Kash Patel and Pam Bondi had to say. Is anyone... I'm not getting my views. I don't see... I think I see that I'm connected on Facebook, but I don't see... All right, David's back. Now it looks like I'm streaming somewhere. Yeah, the power went out in the neighborhood. I could hear the sump pump battery backup beeping at me, and I went, what the hell? Well, first the ring light went off, but not my computer or the other ring light that's plugged into the computer. My phone was still on, but the light went out. Then I noticed my ceiling light went out, and then I could hear the beeping downstairs. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, we're back. Let's plow through. Pam Bondi talking about the FBI, and here's... Was this Hazard Boys media take?
Today, Pam Bondi comes out and she confirms that the FBI has tens of thousands of Epstein videos with kids doing God knows what. Is this the clip right here, Robbie? Can we play this one?
No, the FBI, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims, and no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
Martin seems to be facing a very so diligently going through, guys, tens of so that means Adam, they have on camera, which we know that they've had them. So, and mind you, that means the Biden administration hid apparently 14 terabytes of child torture and whatever the hell that they're going through. That means they knew about it. Okay, they knew about it. They covered it up. They didn't say anything. So you mean to tell me that they have all this footage? They see these children. Okay, I don't want to expose the victims, but you see these people that have been doing this stuff, and what? They're still walking around. And by the way, I don't see any of it. Nothing is going to happen because Pam Bondi was the attorney general in Florida while Epstein was doing all this stuff. She had the power and the position to go after him back then, but she didn't. So we're just going to they're going to keep dangling this, oh, we're looking, we're going to get them. 4 years is going to go by, Pan. In my opinion, nothing is going to happen. And she's talking about these victims that she doesn't want to expose. None of them are going to get justice. Yesterday, Pam Bondi.
Yeah. It's time for justice button. Bondi only disclosed this to the public because she was caught by O'Keefe saying it to a stranger in a restaurant via undercover. CIA and FBI were in bed with this guy. I mean, in bed with them, or like they created it? All right, David's back. I don't know if anybody else is back. I'm getting no viewership numbers here. Don't know if that'll work, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, something's different. What is happening? Oh, there we go. Seems the military is the only way to get these people. Maybe. Overdue. Been waiting. They were supposed to stop Biden. They were supposed to fix 2020. Right? Or not. Here's Bobby Kennedy talking about Casey Means, Surgeon General nominee.
Casey Means, we felt, was the best person to really bring the vision of MAHA to the American public. She has this unique capacity to articulate it. She's written a book that really mobilized, galvanized the movement. She is an extraordinary. She is excellence in everything that she's ever done. She walked away from traditional medicine because she was not curing patients. She couldn't get anybody within her profession to look at the nutrition contributions to illness. And she said, if we're really going to heal people, if we're healers, we can't just be making our life about billing new procedures. We actually have to figure out new approaches to medicine. And that's the kind of leadership that she's going to bring to our country. And 4 people who were all canceled during COVID.
Yeah, right.
Of these people are, you've got the entire leadership of this agency is renegades who are juggernauts against convention and who are trying to look for truth no matter what the cost.
So nobody's controlling
Casey is among those. Casey.
Bravo. Very happy about this. If we had better leadership in our health services, maybe my brother would still
Epstein.
be alive. What Fauci and those idiots did, one size fits all approach. Never forgive them for that bullshit. Hiding hydroxychloroquine, hiding ivermectin, making sure they had hiding monoclonal antibodies. They say it was because they needed emergency use authorization, but if there were therapeutics available that would help with COVID, then they wouldn't have the blanket liability protections. So they hid the other cures and remedies and helps. Maybe it didn't cure it, but it helped it. It helped you get through it. Therapeutic options, medicines. But in order to make sure that they couldn't get sued, they had to hide and demonize it as horse paste. And you're not a horse, y'all. And they pushed remdesivir on people and ventilators on people, and it blew out my brother's lungs, killed him. My younger brother. Best friend gone forever. Thank God for Bobby Kennedy. Thank God for President Trump. Please fix our health system. This is, if it's not the biggest issue in my mind, it's right at the top of it. Here's Eric Bolling talking with Mike Benz about more Epstein stuff.
Got his start during the
Epstein got his start.
Republican era of Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush, when he was involved in Iran-Contra and involved in the Ronald Reagan CIA.
Hello, Patty K.
National Security Council effort.
Patty, where are you watching from? I forget. Where are you at? Are you Pacific Northwest? I don't remember.
To sidestep the Democrats' bar on running guns to the Nicaraguan Contras under what was called the Boland Amendment. And then the Reagan administration's National Security Council circumvented that by running guns and dealing drugs and running the smuggling network out of Mena, Arkansas, and out of Miami. Epstein was involved in that arms running operation. He was working with the Adnan Khashoggi.
So Epstein is running guns and he's ensnaring politicians and business leaders while abusing kids. Like, what wasn't this guy doing?
Network, the Saudi network there, which was, it came to obviously play a major role in U.S. news when a different Khashoggi was later killed by the Saudis in the embassy there. But the fact is Epstein then played a significant role in the relocation of Southern Air Transport, a CIA proprietary airline, from Miami directly to Columbus, Ohio, and the Wexner network up there. These are all Republican things. In 1985, right when Wexner's tax attorney Arthur Shapiro was killed in a gangland murder, that was when Epstein linked up and was given the power of attorney over that financial empire. What I'm trying to say here is there are an awful lot of folks from the Ronald Reagan, George Bush national security state who are still around, alive, and highly influential today. And I think a full given that Epstein was clearly, at the very least, CIA, to say nothing about foreign intelligence. We know he was CIA because Alex Acosta, the prosecutor, when he was up for Department of Labor and attacked for why he didn't go after Epstein harder, he said, I was told to back off because he belonged to intelligence, our own Justice Department.
Because he belonged to intelligence. It was our own fucking government doing this. That's not our government. That was their government. That was those monsters. We can't accept blame for that.
Said that he was intelligent.
So yeah, but when did he's? Are we suggesting that he was CIA informant but this happened later after he was busted for being
I don't even know about an informant. He was an active player.
Disgusting human being. Is that how it went down?
I think he was a career access agent in that respect. I think it spans 3 decades at least. Again, the 1980s was a time we were at the height of the Cold War. There was a lot of dirty deeds that were happening by the national security state. We saw this in the JFK files with Robert Mayhew, who was Epstein predecessor. We saw the CIA planning to use brothels and prostitutes and set up Hollywood productions.
Work with me. Okay,
Epstein got his start during the Republic.
Anyway, that's who we're dealing with, and that's why nothing's coming out. What did you say, Patty K from Washington? Yes, okay, so I was right. I was Pacific Northwest. I got to remember Washington State for Patty K. Patty K, bakers, man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Patty K said, I heard a take that regarding the Vatican, that is the shipping arm of the world, like the postmaster. In other words, trafficking in all ship lanes. Interesting theory. David's suggesting Bush was involved when Reagan was shot, like Johnson when JFK was, perhaps. Bush was having, I think, breakfast with the shooter's brother. Oh, Hold on. Not Sirhan. That was David Brinkley. What was his name? What was the guy's name? I don't think. Am I getting Reagan shooter's name? David Brinkley's not right. The hell's his name? John Hinckley. Fuck, that was way off. Ends with an EY, but that was about it. John Hinckley. Maybe if he was successful, I'd remember him. Glad he wasn't. Miss Muckraker putting this up. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth has canceled his planned visit to Israel. What does this mean? Zelensky announces a full ceasefire effective immediately, shortly after Trump stated he would speak with the Ukrainian leader. I don't know if that's a real thing. Let me type in Zelensky ceasefire. Because I think I shared that or something similar to that and said, could it possibly be? But then I said that I read that it wasn't. Consistently advocating for a 30-day unconditional ceasefire in the ongoing war with Russia, rejecting shorter truces proposed by Putin as manipulative or insufficient for meaningful peace talks. On May 8th, Zelensky reiterated Ukraine's readiness for an immediate 30-day ceasefire, emphasizing it must be genuine, with no missile or drone strikes and a halt to frontline assaults, dismissing Putin's 3-day ceasefire, May 8 through 10, tied to Russia's Victory Day celebrations, as theatrical show meant to ensure calm during Moscow's parades rather than advance peace. Ukraine reported 734 Russian attacks during this period, 734, including a missile strike in Poltava and bombings in Sumy that killed a 55-year-old woman, labeling the truce a farce. All right, so that's where we're at. Trump FEMA Administrator Cameron Hamilton has been escorted out of the headquarters after telling lawmakers that he opposes dismantling FEMA. Now, what's going on here? We're not trying to dismantle FEMA. We're trying to make FEMA do what it's supposed to do instead of aiding and abetting illegal alien invasions of the United States, right? TMZ reporting a couple of gate agents got terminated from their gig. Now, they said couple. All 4 of these people should be fired, in my estimation. Fired from their gig with Frontier Airlines after mocking a customer who was trying to check in for his flight, getting the boot after video of their tense exchange went viral. Miss Muckraker reports Bill Gates announces that the Gates Foundation will be shutting down sooner than originally planned in 2045. What's that about? HHS Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. says trust the experts is not a function of science or democracy. It's a function of totalitarianism and religion. Thank God for that. Thank God. For all the failures of President Trump, there are so many victories by just having somebody in an elected position speaking honestly, accurately. Freaking A, man. Yes. Trust the science is bullshit. It's not a function of science. You test your science on a daily basis. You're so convinced the earth is round, prove it. When someone says the opposite, you got to prove it every day. There's no settled science. Safe and effective. Trust the experts. It's settled science. It's no such thing. Hypotheses must be challenged and confirmed on a daily basis, double blind, over and over. They need to be repeatable, or else they're not reliable. Trust the experts is not a function of science or democracy. It's a function of totalitarianism and religion. Yes. Trump has fired the U.S. Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, in charge since President Obama appointed her in 2016. She let Lizzo use James Madison's flute. Okay. Bernie Sanders. You think I should wait in line at United? No apologies for my private jets. Socialists are beyond parody. Private planes for me, Walking or no travel for thee. Vice President Vance says the India-Pakistan conflict is fundamentally none of our business. Isn't that refreshing, people? Why is this doing that? Everything is a little wonky today. My pages are showing up weird. All right. FEMA needs to go bye-bye? But don't we want some sort of federal emergency management for earthquakes and hurricanes and floods and fires and stuff? Like, if it's managed appropriately, isn't that like the best our government could? Literally one of the only things I want my government doing. I know there are FEMA camps, but like that doesn't make everything they do bad, right? I don't know. I'm open. Theories on it. All right, let's go over to X and buzz through this. God, there's a lot of news today. Okay, I think we're just about close here. So much news. Trying to figure out where to start. So weird. So much weird stuff going on. Okay, where is... Okay, I have to be getting closer. Oh my God, so much news. Okay. This is going to be the slowest lightning round ever. Actually, let me see if I can switch this now, if I've charged this sufficiently so that it'll work again. No? Did it just stop working? Oh, hold on. Oh, good. It's working. All right, check out yesterday's show. Where are the arrests? What is this? A 63-year-old man brutally attacked inside a Florida movie theater after asking a couple to move out of his pre-booked VIP seats. This appears to be a black-on-white crime again. I don't know why race has to be a part of it, but I mean, I don't know why you would attack somebody if you're sitting in his seat either. They're saying that's what, 2023? Why is that on my feed? Okay. Jay Leno trusted Jimmy Kimmel and he regrets it.
Yeah, you know, everybody makes a big deal. You know, when Kimmel came on my show and humiliated me in my own show, I let it happen. I didn't edit it. It was my mistake. I trusted somebody. I went, I made a mistake.
I think he's saying Kimmel came on his show. That's backward, though.
Okay, I should pay the price. And it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we could have edited out of the show.
Why didn't you?
Well, because it happened. It's real. It happened. It's my mistake. That's how you learn. You know?
Did you view it as a mistake, or is that good TV?
Well, it's not good TV for me because it started a whole thing that continues to this day, really. But it's okay. It's all right. I mean, you know, he's a comic. You do what you got to do. Okay. I mean,
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I mean, he's a comic. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, Jimmy Kimmel, he's a comic. Yeah, you do what you got to do.
I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but that's okay. That's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It is what it is. It's better than saying, hey, spend the rest of my life. So what really happened on that show? You know, here you can take a look and see. You know, so yeah, it's fine.
Kathleen is saying Kimmel is trash and Leno is a class act. So there's that. Fatty Schumann, Columbia student who was behind multiple violent building takeovers in the encampment last year, was arrested yesterday. And the Columbia now finally expelled him.
I gotta get out.
Whiny girl. You're brutalizing him. Multiple violent building takeovers. Adi Schumann. Let him go! Bye-bye. You see this video? What the hell is this? Alex Jones says, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Kansas man films bizarre black ring in sky while riding motorcycle.
And I'm not using no app. I am on County Road 2 in between State Avenue and K32. And I have never seen anything like that in my life. And it appears that little black stuff is falling down the center of it. That is just weird. And then just to let you all know, I'm not kidding here. This is real. Sorry, that's my phone doing that because it's a piece of crap Motorola. But just so you can see, it's me. And I'm live. And it's starting to dissipate.
Zoom in, bro. It's all
look at that.
Gathering at the front, the right side.
Tell me that is not.
It's like a swarm of locusts or birds or.
Freaking weird. I have no idea.
Looks like an eggplant. Hey, that looks like an eggplant emoji, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Recording it. It was.
That looks like an eggplant now.
It's a dark black circle and now it's dissipating. I mean, it looks like somebody blew a big old smoke ring.
It looks like it's smoke. My first thought back at a distance was, is it a congregation of birds?
Yeah, that's what I thought. But then, because it looked like everything was falling through the center, but now it's just like totally dissipating. But I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I had to pull over and record it. So, hey, just so everybody knows, I'm legit. Somebody pulled over to talk to me. I'm not talking to myself.
All right, so what is that? What do we think it is? I don't know. Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, flying private and tried to hide from the cameras. Walking right behind these other people, knowing exactly, look at that. Trying to stay hidden behind her. That is very intentional. Look at her! Democrat lawmakers are all complete frauds, says Paul Sizpula. Never take them seriously. Then this one here is AOC also hypocritically flew private at a cost of thousands per hour while destroying the environment. AOC. No flight for thee, but private planes for me. To anyone that tells you this issue doesn't matter, tell them to shut the front door. It matters. Meet Marissa Rothenberger, 6-foot-tall male pitcher pretending to be a female, dominating girls' high school football in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota again. Girls only hit 12% of his pitches, and he only allowed a single hit in a recent game. Even the announcers acknowledge his physical advantage, despite also pretending he is a girl. Rothenberger is a cheater, keeping men out of women's sports.
Meet Marissa Rothenberger, a male pitcher absolutely dominating girls softball in Champlin, Minnesota.
And the pitch. Rothenberger back in the fifth. Swing and a miss here first. 0-2 pitch. Strike.
I could not call this game. I could not announce this and not. Yeah. If your chromosomes include a Y in sports, you must compete with guys.
Roethlisberger, at 6 feet tall, appears to tower over his female competition. In this game on May 6, 2025, he threw 7 strikeouts and shut out the opposing team. Apparently, Roethlisberger's batting against average is .128, meaning opposing girl players only hit 12% of his pitches, which is considerably better than elite MLB players. He recently had an absurd 14 strikeouts in a single game. What was really amazing was listening to the dense male announcers as they gushed.
And imagine, like,
an absurd 14 strikeouts in a single game.
Like that. Look at that person. Yeah, I'm beating women. What a fucking loser. You know that Billy Madison scene where he goes back to like first grade and he's playing dodgeball and he's just annihilating these little kids? That's what it is to play women. You mean women are not superior? You mean men are superior to women? This is like Billy Madison. You want to go be tough? Go play baseball against men and let's see you braggadociously. Yeah, I got a strikeout. That's as impressive as playing dodgeball against a third grader, you idiot. I'm a big sports guy. Yeah, I don't know. Black circles in the sky? Are they new chemtrails? I don't know. I don't know.
What was really amazing was listening to the dense male announcers as they gush about Roethlisberger's wingspan and how hard he throws it.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage.
Why are they saying she is this in fact a guy?
The whip action of that long arm for Roethlisberger.
He's a boy, guys. Get it? He's male. And it's cheating. Stop gushing. The male coach who coaches Roethlisberger was gushing too.
Our pitchers do a phenomenal job. We have Marissa Roethlisberger. They keep us in every game.
What's not to like about having a male ringer on the team? Except it's cheating, of course. Roethlisberger is apparently hoping to get recruited onto a women's softball team in college somewhere, and I found his profile on recruiting sites. But hopefully this helps expose the cheater before he can cheat any more girls out of their opportunities, scholarships, and victories.
All right, yeah, it appears to be a real story. I'm checking here. I don't. How is anyone? Why don't you just forfeit and say I'm not playing a game against a dude? I'm not. Go play male softball. Go be a tough guy there. Charlie Roethlisberger, Champlain Park High School, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Charlie Dean Roethlisberger had their birth certificate changed to female at age 9 after a petition by their mother, Heather, approved by Hennepin County District Court in 2017. Minnesota policy allows such changes without marking the altered status, enabling Roethlisberger to compete in girls' sports under state law. So, come on. Just stop cheating. Go play in a men's softball league. Anyway. Don't tolerate people that say that stuff doesn't matter. Here's President Trump explaining the Ed Martin nomination for DC's top prosecutor position.
Yeah, but he's a terrific person, and he wasn't getting the support from people that I thought. You know, he's done a very good job. Crime is down 25% in D.C. During his period of time. I'm very disappointed in that, but I have so many different things that I'm doing now with the trade. You know, I'm one person. I can only make, boom, I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day. But we have somebody else that will be great. I just want to say Ed is unbelievable, and hopefully we can bring him into whether it's DOJ or whatever, in some capacity because really outstanding. It was, to me, it was disappointing. I'll be honest. I have to be straight. I was disappointed. A lot of people were disappointed, but that's the way it works sometimes. That's the way it works. And he wasn't rejected, but we felt it would be hard. And we have somebody else that we'll be announcing over the next 2 days who's going to be great. Yeah, but he's a terrific person, and
this is insanely angering because Tom Tillis is working with Democrats to block his confirmation. Get rid of Tom Tillis immediately. This is insanely angering. Republicans shouldn't be shocked if they lose the midterms. We vote them into office and they suddenly turn into Democrat lights. Senator Murphy,
as written in black and
Merkley in front of the entire Senate, claiming Kash Patel doesn't understand the process, and Kash shoots back.
It concerns me that you're not familiar with the core concept of due process applying to all persons as written in black and white in the Constitution.
As the first public defender who's ever served the FBI as its director, I am more aware of due process than any predecessor in my seat. You are delineating between removal proceedings and criminal acts. My job is to investigate criminal acts. That's what we do.
It concerns me that you're not familiar with the core.
He's like, trust me, I know. Ilhan Omar removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee. That's great, but that actually happened in February 23. I will rate it yes. Easy to understand. Addresses the claim. Important context. I will vote that up. Yes. I love the community notes. So that's it was being shared around like it was new information, but I kind of said, wait a minute, why is she still on? Why is it taking this long? Hey, you want to see Joe Biden? Remember this guy? Actually, I think I have a video where they're going to explain why you don't hate him as much as you. Well, here, let's just play it.
Yeah. Mr. President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out deeply sourced from Democratic sources that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities. In the final year of your presidency, what is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that. Number one. Number two, think of what we were left with. We were left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started. That nonsense.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. The insurrection is, well, you know the case that we're not allowed to talk about. We all know what happened. Gaslighter in chief, this guy. No, there was a mostly peaceful protest. That's what it was.
Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying. 1 million people dying. And we're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And one of the things and
Alyssa, one of the things I think is
she's jumping in because twice he lost his train of thought already.
That the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us. And they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day. I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and then at night I'd be in bed, reading my book, and he was still on the phone, reading his briefings, working with staff. I mean, it was nonstop. It's the White House, being president is not like a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a life that you live. You live it 24 hours a day. That phone can ring at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. It's constant. You never leave it. And Joe worked really hard. I think he was a great president. And if you look at things today, give me Joe Biden anytime.
That's worth the invitation to come to the show.
Yeah. What now? Joe Biden, everybody. Joe Biden. Terrible is showing that Paris has fallen. They've been invaded. Forces. Flag is that? Don't you want to go vacation in Paris? Go vacation in Paris, would you? Inevitable West says that Labor has been caught cheating in the local elections by putting independent votes into the Labor box. You can vote your way into communism, but you can't vote your way out.
Exactly what's going on.
Is that enough? How many is it?
Yes.
You can't mix up.
Yeah, you can vote your way into communism, but you can't vote your way out. This clip was authentic, but it's from 2019. Speaking of the conflict between ISIS and the Taliban in Afghanistan. I think maybe it was shared recently, and they're saying, maybe making the claim that this is about Pakistan and India. But Afghanistan, whatever. Pick a stand. And here you go. President Trump with the same kind of general mindset.
And they're fighting each other. I said, why don't you let them fight? Why are we getting in the middle of it? I said, let them fight. Sir, we want to do it. They go in and...
I said, sir, let them fight. You can't let them fight. And they said, sir.
I said, let them fight. Sir, we want to do it. They go in and they end up fighting both of them. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Let them.
So anyway, we're trying to stay out of some stuff. Pirates changed their manager from Derek Shelton to bench coach Don Kelly. Vatican insider Leo Zagami reveals how the new pope is a continuation of the globalist takeover of the Catholic Church and will be used to wage war against President Trump. It's not a good day. He's worse than Francis. It's going to be war. It's going to be a war against Trump waged by the church every day. So there's an 18-minute video. Check that one out. Look at this. Looks like a clown show. This looks like a clown show right there. Anyway. Illinois doesn't have party registration. So they're saying the new pope is a registered Republican. So I'm going to rate this. Yes, it's helpful. Address the claim. Easy to understand. Important context. Yes. Yeah, sure. I like the community notes. They're very helpful. I did play you this from Kash Patel earlier. Treasury Secretary talking with Maxine Waters. Waters says, you let these strangers into our Treasury with access to all of the data. Bessent says, no, ma'am. They were Treasury employees. So, kind of correcting idiocy. Here, Biden has something really important to tell Joy Behar. Ready?
That all the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best healthcare in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done? That all the projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do
Okay. Here's a back and forth. And then they're asking, why did Merrick Garland approve a $1.2 million payout for trader Peter Strzok and $800,000 for Lisa Page? That's a good question. Check out that exchange. Democrat finally going to jail, Boston City Council. Major new revelation concerning the deep state's construction of 21 trillion of secret underground cities revealed. That's a logger video. Yeah, I'm going to pass on a Paris trip as well. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I am all good on that. Roger Stone asking, what do New York's corrupt Attorney General Letitia James and North Carolina U.S. Senator Tom Tillis have in common? Answer, they're both going to prison for mortgage fraud, says Roger Stone. The hidden empire of Tom Tillis, undisclosed deeds, rental income, and massive felonies. Let's see what happens. A lot of accusations. A man accidentally bumps into a migrant in Lyon. The migrant turns around and stabs him in the neck with a knife. And by the way, the guy, well, okay. I mean, that's attempted murder. Like, you don't get to stab people. This is obvious. Tell that to the killer Carmelo at the track meet. You don't get to stab somebody. That wasn't a hostile attack. You weren't fearing for your life. They're two people commuting, trying to go different places. That's madness. Billionaires are killing the planet with their private jets. But it's fine when we do it. Bernie Sanders. Kristi Noem talking to Senator Chris Van Hollen. I would suggest you advocate for American citizens instead of Abrego Garcia. 5 officers who beat Tyree Nichols to death have been acquitted. All 5 of them. This entire thing is considerably worse than George Floyd, but nobody will care because the officers aren't white. Tyree Nichols? Which case was this? Do you remember that one? And they were all acquitted? Regrettably, I'm typing it in. Kyle is saying, maybe somebody can help me understand. Tyree Nichols was beaten so viciously, he was calling out to his mother. Officers mocked him using his bloody body as a prop in pictures that they sent to other people. And they were still acquitted? I mean, I don't want to do too much of a deep dive here. Oh, but that's the case. Just absolutely pummeling a guy on the ground. Thank God there's no audio. But there is. I know there is. Repeatedly kicked and punched in the head. Okay. I don't remember this story as much. It wasn't all over in the news. And is that true? Is it true that this story didn't get the attention that it deserved because all of the people that took his life are black and he's black? So nobody talks about it. Nobody burns anything down. Nobody makes it a big deal. It's only a big deal if you can demonize white people. I mean, that unfortunately has been the answer to the lying legacy media for a very long time. So, That's the story there. Oh, I guess I wasn't sharing you that clip, but anyway, it's just an injured man. I don't really want to dwell on it too much, but that is the update. Brian Cates says this is a bunch of central globalist cult bankers hiding behind a thick curtain. Picture extremely large amounts of wealth hidden hundreds of billions of dollars every year. Trillions of dollars over decades. Very carefully and surreptitiously being siphoned off from the countries this globalist cult has control over, going to them where they hide behind that curtain. These countries get poorer and poorer while the central bankers get richer and richer. Picture Donald Trump giving these central bankers conniptions as he begins freeing countries from their control. Cutting the strings, resetting the flow of the money to these thieves, and beginning to vastly reduce the amounts of wealth they can steal. You should really try to picture that, because that is what you're watching, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's pretty positive interpretation of what's going on. I'm here for it. This is a conversation here when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2005. The Attorney General of Florida had 32 girls willing to testify that Epstein abused them. When they were minors, the AG was given an order to stand down because Epstein was intelligence. At least 2 of these girls were 8 years old when they were abused by Epstein. I played you this as well. New Jersey State Assemblyman Paul Canitra exposed Democrats in New Jersey spent billions of dollars on offshore wind turbines that are never, ever going to be built. So is it money laundering? Is it incompetence? Now Democrats just voted to raise energy prices on their citizens again in Trenton, New Jersey. Legislation will increase utility bills for ratepayers who are already struggling with multiple utility rate increases. I have not seen a single Democrat vote against a bill, not one time. This is an accusation that NIH research with Fauci grafted illegally aborted baby scalps onto lab mice. Human fetal tissues grafted onto rodent hosts, structural and functional observations of brain, adrenal, and heart tissues. This is a conversation with Tucker Carlson. Watch that video in more detail. Don't really want to go down that rabbit hole at this moment, but it's there for you to check out. This show is a primer. It's not the say-all, end-all. Now, wait a minute. Am I broadcasting on Rumble or not? Now I got another Spectrum service alert that it's resolved. All right, well then why am I not broadcasting on Rumble? Am I on Rumble? This is such a weird day. Something went wrong. Okay, so Rumble's out. I don't know what's going on. Let's check out Scott Jennings.
Watching him on The View today and watching some of the interviews he did over.
Thank you for your viewership.
Yeah, I saw it. It's rare for me, but I did watch it.
You like Anna. That's what it is.
I will just say, watching him over the last few days reminded me that a whole bunch of people were telling us with a straight face that this man was capable of serving another 4 years as president. And that these appearances, coupled with what I understand is going to be the equivalent of a nuclear bomb dropped on the Democratic Party when Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson's book come out next week, I don't know that the Democrats have fully internalized what's about to happen to them. Between what he looks like today and what they're about to report, get ready.
I am not sure that Joe.
You just said that
what did he not say?
You said that he told Kamala Harris that she could not have any distance
False.
from him.
It's been reported. He told
it doesn't
her
matter what he
was.
was.
He told her point blank, no daylight, kid, no daylight.
Because reporting can never be wrong?
Are you attacking the journalism around it?
You think reporting can never be wrong?
If you want to be anti-journalism,
you come on here and you attack reporting every night.
I do not.
We actually asked him the question
There's critical
directly.
reporting about this guy, and he told her point blank, no daylight.
We asked him directly today. Did you tell her that?
You think he's ever told a lie?
I don't think he tells many lies.
I don't think he tells many lies.
He tells many lies. I don't think he's done a...
Come on.
Wait. No,
That's
you know
hilarious.
You know why you don't get to laugh like that? Because you support a guy who lies every freaking day and lies continuously. You support a guy who cannot acknowledge that he lost the 2020 election and that lies about it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's in Jake. Have you read it? Have you read it?
Guys, we gotta go. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
Watching.
There you go. This man witnessed Joe Biden commit crimes. AOC asks specifically what crimes. He starts listing them, then AOC talks loudly over the man so no one can hear them.
Is it your testimony today that you personally witnessed President Joe Biden commit a crime?
I believe the fact that he was sitting with me while I was putting together a business
Did you
deal,
witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir? Specifically.
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse me. Is it your testimony
These
today?
people, man. There's the Pam Bondi story. Here's a time lapse. Check this one out. Border Patrol just posted this epic before and after video. December 21st, 2023. Look at this facility. Look at this. Doggone it. I got to mute the music. Just a small town girl living in something wild. Don't stop. Now it's empty. Now it's empty. It's all empty because it should have always been empty. Should have always been empty. Gone. Look at this. Going full bore to make sure your nation gets invaded. All you had to do was decide not to do that. Good. Good for them. Matt Wallace is saying what women are forced to do in that cage will make you never look at the world the same again. Not entirely certain what we're looking at here, but these are women with their face covered up. They're in a cage like an animal. Not entirely certain what context that is. But here's Gutfeld's take on the Joe Biden thing. It's worse than you know.
Fine, do it on his time. Don't do it on our time. Go out literally to a pasture and pass away. He chose BBC because it stands for Biden, bury or cremate. Look, there is a reason we have hangovers. They are to remind us of the damage we do to our bodies. And what that is a political hangover. We need to see this because we can't forget the abomination of this presidency. You know, they talk about Trump being an anomaly, and they're right. He is an anomaly. But this was an anomaly. This was a non-functioning functionary, a placeholder, a facade, a trick played on the American public. We need this refresher, and I welcome it at every opportunity to provide a comparison, to keep the scandal alive, because right now, the books, they're backfilling a false narrative about the biggest political cover-up in history. So as long as Joe emerges from the crypt with his old man smell, nobody's listening to what he's saying. They're just
emerges from the crypt with his old man smell.
looking at it and going, Christ, this actually was president. But it keeps two things alive. One, the Democrats gaslit an entire country and they must be held accountable. That's not in the past, that's in the present and the future. And the media can never be trusted again. They can never come back from this, nor should they. Joe Biden is the perfect symbol for a party and for the media, the walking dead. Yet you may see yourself in a mirror. Other people may see you, but the effects on society, you have no consequence whatsoever. When I look at MSNBC and CNN, I see dead people, right? You have no bearing on our daily lives. This is a zombie media existing in this purgatory for their past sins, just like that guy. He's a joke.
Zombie media.
Zombie media. Amuse is reporting this. Lawfare. After the security of Smartmatic's electronic voting machines was questioned, Democrat billionaire Reid Hoffman secretly met with Smartmatic's CEO, agreeing to pump $24 million into lawsuits to silence Fox and Newsmax and anyone else who questioned the company's... Okay, it's kind of like cut off here. According to Grok, Reid Hoffman, a billionaire Democrat donor, secretly invested $24 million into Smartmatic to fund defamation lawsuits against Fox News and Newsmax, aiming to silence criticism of Smartmatic's electronic voting machines after their security was questioned post-2020 election. Smartmatic concealed this funding, according to this Amuse post, concealed this funding arrangement from the court and defendants, violating transparency laws like the Litigation Transparency Act of 2025, which mandates disclosure of third-party litigation funding to prevent hidden influences in political proceedings or in legal proceedings. This case highlights broader concerns about Smartmatic, as its executives were indicted in 2024 for bribery and money laundering in the Philippines. And a 2017 Venezuelan election audit revealed their machines recorded 1 million extra votes, contradicting earlier claims of security by figures like Jimmy Carter. All right. So that's Amuse reporting that. Consider it. Where were the rest of my posts? Today's the 80th anniversary of VE Day. I'm sorry, that was yesterday. The Allied triumph over Nazi Germany in World War II. So that's good. Here's a detransitioner. Transitioned as a teen, and since detransitioned, he realized he was just a gay man all along, not a girl, and blasted those people who are pushing medicalization of kids outside of the Riley Gaines event in Seattle. Bravo. Oh, J.D. Vance has changed his position on Russia? All right, let's listen.
You know, the Ukrainians have said they would agree to a ceasefire, a 30-day ceasefire. We appreciate that. What the Russians have said, again, you don't have to disagree with it, but it's important to understand where the other side is coming from. What the Russians have said is a 30-day ceasefire is not in our strategic interest. So we've tried to move beyond the obsession with the 30-day ceasefire and more on the what would the long-term settlement look like. And we've tried to consistently advance the ball. One final point I'd make about this, I think it's probably wouldn't surprise anybody in the room, but there are a lot of people watching who are not in the room, is a frustration that we've had, frankly, with both sides, is that they hate each other so much that if you have an hour conversation with either side, the first 30 minutes are just them complaining about some historical grievance from 4 years ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Look, I understand it. I understand that people don't fight wars against each other without a lot of grievance and a lot of problem, but we're trying to, as much as we can, play a constructive role in advancing the peace conversation forward. What I'll say, just to echo something that President Trump has said many times, but I think it bears repeating, is our strong view is that...
Anyway, U.S. believes that Russia is demanding too much. Why am I in Boris? Where's my account? I don't know. Today has been an awesome day of strangeness. Is Rumble back up? Something went wrong. Please try again later. Yeah, Rumble's down. Or something. What is even happening today? Libs of TikTok reporting that 6 Texas officials were indicted on voter fraud charges, including a Democrat judge, city council members, and a school board member. Remember when Democrats say this doesn't happen? Well, guess what? Here's voter fraud. Vote harvesting. Tampering and fabricating physical evidence. Vote harvesting. Vote harvesting. 3 counts of vote harvesting. 2 counts of vote harvesting. Look at that. And I think I saw something from Colorado yesterday. There's stuff happening all over the United States that some of this stuff is being discovered. Anyway, I really do think that's about all I had to share with you today. Thanks for jumping back and finding us here. It was a truncated program today. Power went out, but you know what? We kept it rolling. Because there's a lot of news happening and you need to know about it. That's why we exist. So, thank you so much, David and everyone else who are watching. Please link up with us in more places than one. We're on the New American Media is on Instagram, Facebook, Truth Social, Rumble, Odyssey, Twitch, Kick, D Live, and YouTube. The New American Media. Telegram and Signal, we're there at TNAM and TNAM Chat. We're on X at American_media_. And please subscribe to our 2 podcasts, The Agree to Disagree Show and The Unhappy Hour Sports Show on Spotify and Apple. Our donation links are here on Patreon at The New American Media, Venmo and Cash App at Brian Engelman, and PayPal at Fuzz Installment. So stay tuned to all of the things. David, go pick up your grandkids. Thank you for joining us. And everybody else who was earlier. I have no statistics in the corner of my screen. I'm able to see how many people are watching on how many of the platforms. I have no idea what's going on with today's show. It's been weird. But life is weird. We must push forward. That's all I know. All right. So I'm going to sign out for now. We'll be back again. I normally do a Saturday show, but it is possible I may not do one tomorrow. 4 reasons. Good reasons. Perfectly fine reasons. So I might be back Monday. So keep your eyes peeled for Monday. But of course, if you're following us on these other platforms, we put different information out on different days. So stay tuned and you'll catch a lot of things as it breaks. We're the New American Media because the old American media has failed you. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back again soon. I appreciate you. I love you. Take care. Peace.